We preview the New York Jets season and tell you if they can eclipse their season win total, and we'll let you know how you can take home $1,000 from us here at Grandstand Bettors absolutely free, and it all starts right now. What is going on, everyone? It's Matt from Grandstand Bettors, and last year we cashed over 70% of our season win total predictions, so we figured why not run it back in 2022? And at the same time, we're also excited to announce that our NFL betting contest is back for its second year, where you could take home $1,000. We'll get to that in just a moment, but first, if you're new to Grandstand Bettors, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our 32 prediction videos. And while you're at it, smack that like button. The Hall of Fame game is just 2 days away, and guess what? We will be live streaming it, so make sure you come join us and have some fun. But without further ado, let's dive in to the New York Jets season preview. And the Jets, their season win total is set at 5.5 for this year. Let's start with the Jets, and let's start with Zach Wilson. With his injury last season and now some offseason activities, they have their hands full in the front office with this guy, especially since they took a chance at him out of BYU with the second overall pick, passing on guys like Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones. Needless to say, the Jets did not exceed many expectations last season, finishing with a 4-13 record. It's really hard to pinpoint the exact problems they had last year because, quite frankly, their entire offense and defense were both atrocious. They only scored 18 points per game, which was 5th worst in the league, while giving up 29.6 points per game, which was worst in the NFL. Now, it's hard to win many games doing that, and quite honestly, it's crazy they really even managed to win 4 games last season. Free agency did not help them here in the offseason for the Jets, especially offensively. The Jets lost tight end Tyler Kroft, wide receivers Keelan Cole and Jamison Crowder, and a couple offensive linemen. Really, the only good thing that came out of free agency was adding Tyler Conklin at tight end from the Vikings because they are desperately in need for a veteran on the offensive side of the ball. Now, at quarterback, they have 1 year of experience. At running back, they have rookie Breece Hall out of Iowa State. And at wide receiver, they have Corey Davis, Garrett Wilson, and Elijah Moore, which have a combined 6 years of experience in the NFL, but 5 of those come from Davis alone. Now, that's a lot of raw talent, but it doesn't go as far in the NFL just on raw talent that it does in college football. So the Jets, they needed some veteran leadership, and hey, Conklin might be a veteran leader, but they're going to need much more than that. The Jets ended with a minus 13 turnover differential last season, and they had a total of 27 turnovers. 11 of those was from Wilson's interceptions. He also scrambled a ton last season. He was sacked 44 times, which was 3rd highest in the NFL. And the crazy thing is, the guy only played in 13 games. To hopefully help out their offensive line, the Jets did bring in Tomlinson from the 49ers, but they were not as aggressive drafting linemen as you would think they should be, given how many available linemen there were in the draft. Now, they only got around to adding depth to their O-line in the 4th round, and it shows you how much this team needs, and their priority should have been protecting their quarterback, which they have put a lot of stock in. But what the Jets did focus on building up this offseason was their defense, especially through the draft. They used 2 of their first-round picks on defensive players. They added edge rusher Jermaine Johnson II from Florida State and cornerback Ahmed Gardner out of Cincinnati, which should be a huge boost to their secondary. They also brought in edge rusher Solomon Thomas from the Raiders, DJ Reed from the Seahawks, and safety Jordan Whitehead from the Bucs. Now, these guys all should make an immediate impact on the defense and definitely improve them on the defensive side of the ball from last year. In all honesty, though, it would be pretty tough to perform worse than they did last year. They gave up the most yards per game in the league with 397 per game, and as we mentioned before, the most points per game. They also gave up 5.9 yards per play, which was 4th worst in the league, and they let teams score 60% of the time when those teams got into the red zone. The leaders they brought in, they're going to have to step up and turn this defense around because they have been struggling for several years now. But when it comes down to it, this team is really still lacking a lot of experience, and after a disappointing season last year, there's not many signs that we think they're going to be able to turn this season around and become a playoff team. They are definitely setting themselves up with a solid team for the future, but as we saw last year, they are nowhere close to getting a winning season or even 6 wins. The over-under dropped a game since last year to 5.5, and it's relatively because the strength of schedule is around the same that we think Vegas doesn't have confidence in this team either, and nor do we. Although the number is very low here at 5.5, we think the Jets are just so far away from competing not only in the NFL, but the AFC East. So we're going to take the New York Jets under 5.5 wins for this NFL season. Now, we have finished all the AFC East team previews, so look for us to dive into the AFC South starting tomorrow. But in the meantime, don't forget, sign up for our 2022 NFL betting contest over at grandstandbettors.com. We're giving out great quarterly prizes again this year, and the winner, as we've mentioned every single day so far, is going to take home $1,000 of cold hard cash. As always, though, sit back, relax, enjoy the NFL season previews, and we'll see you tomorrow with the AFC South and the Houston Texans.